Yo, I gotta say, for American Indian Book Review, this is a fantastic read. This is the biography of Chuck Berry. Some of you that are old enough to know that he is probably the father, if not one of the fathers of rock and roll. But this story is also full of other accounts and details, including Chuck Berry Land, which was a huge property that Chuck Berry owned, where people could go and do whatever. Long before Hugh Hefner had the Playboy Mansion, long before Michael Jackson had the Neverland Ranch, they all learned that idea of creating this oasis where God knows what could be done, drank, snorted, smoked, whatever on this land. It should be known that Chuck Berry was not into drinking. He didn't drink alcohol. From that, there are some very shocking accounts. One of which, and I'm just going to put it here because this ain't even it. Now, look, from the music side, it's fantastic because you start to learn how rock and roll even got named rock and roll, what it was. And one of the things that this book does is it presents Chuck Berry as a crossover artist, mostly because he had appropriated hillbilly music, right? He grew up in Missouri, and he also grew up in areas where his parents and he listened to hillbilly music, either on the radio or being played live, in which case he took that hillbilly music and he mixed it with the African-American music that was coming together, and he developed this thing about that became rock and roll. And of course, it involved cars, the automobile. I mean, there's probably nobody that sang as many songs as he did about. And I'll tell you something else. He also was a great lyricist. Now that I've pumped up that side of him, and that side is very real, there's some other things that are kind of odd. One is his whatever his sexual things were, right? It's reported and alleged when he eventually got sued in a class action because somebody had drilled holes in the walls in the women's bathroom in a restaurant he owed that he owned, and found tapes or whatever. And one of those, and this is true, is a tape reportedly of a woman defecating in his mouth. I said it, and it's there. Okay, is it true or not? I'm not entirely sure, but this gives a good account of how that would even come to light. Further, this is a book that does not shy away from the good, the bad, and the ugly for one of America's founding fathers of culture and rock and roll, Chuck Berry. And I don't know why he wore a captain's hat at the end.